Before we get started, I know when you first started at Affirm, one of your roles was as head of DEI, and yes, we do want to talk about the diverse pipeline, but I think it's also really important to think about this holistically. Can you talk a little bit about how we think about diversity, equity, and inclusion holistically?
Yeah, I think I'm glad that we're starting the conversation that way, Gabe, because a lot of times, you want to kind of solve for the now instead of really looking at what it looks like, what the picture should look like, and what you're really trying to achieve. And so you kind of just start with recruiting, but you're not actually looking at kind of what is the current, what's happening currently with your workforce. How are you retaining folks that are coming from underrepresented groups? How is engagement, so forth and so on? Do you have the right programs in place? Because you can build that diverse pipeline and bring folks in, but it needs to be authentic. They need to come in, and then they should have programs that really support their growth and development with the companies. So it's important to look at it holistically. And I'll just share personally, I wasn't looking for a career to lead DEI. I literally talked to Max, our CEO, during the interview process, because at the time, this is like 4.5 years ago, he was interviewing me to be a head of talent, and the company was about 100 folks. And we got into a conversation around DEI, and really, it was important to me as a woman of color to really understand coming into the company, what does diversity look like? How am I going to be set up for success? I was asking through the lens of a potential, like a candidate as a potential employee, and then also understanding as coming in as a head of talent, like what am I signing up for? What's going on here, right? And do I really feel like I'm going to have the executive support to move the needle forward? And what I told him was like, look, I'm going to come in and I'd love to be able to create a diversity inclusion program. I actually don't want to be head of DEI, but I need to create that space for myself so I can thrive. And that was really important to me. And I had that opportunity. And I want to clarify, when I say I don't want to be a head of DEI, it's more because it's everyone's responsibility. Holistically, it's the hiring manager's responsibility, it's the recruiter's responsibility, the executive team, the board, a people manager, whoever you are, it is your responsibility. Even if you're an employee who shows up day to day, somehow it also touches you. It's your responsibility. So holistically, you have to think about that. It's not just hiring, but it is everything from the candidate experience to the employee experience through alumni. And if you can holistically build that picture, then that pipeline just comes through naturally rather than this forcing function where it just consistently drops through your hiring process. I hope that kind of sets the tone of philosophically how I think you should be thinking about it.